Hey guys, it's Glenn from Glenn'sCarCollection.com, and today I'm having a great day. Why? Because BMW of Tenafly just gave me the keys to their 2023 Alpina B8 Gran Coupe. And this is just a gorgeous, gorgeous car and very, very expensive. And the great news is we get to drive it. So it's based on an 8 Series chassis, so it's a big car. It's got a very long wheelbase, so that means it's a good high-speed highway car. You're not going to feel the bumps too much. It's going to be a nice and smooth ride. This is an expensive car. We could check it out here. 2023 BMW Alpina B8 Gran Coupe. Starting price is $144,900. So almost $145,000 to start. Pure, frozen pure gray metallic, which is kind of like this matte finish here, $5,000. Interior, this is probably one of the best color combos I've seen. This is Fiona red and black full merino leather interior, which actually seems reasonable for the quality it is for $2,000. So just on exterior and interior, we already have $7,000. And then driver's assistant package, we went over that. I have the same on my M340iX drive, $1,800. Everything's included in here, except if you're going to spend all this money, you want to get the Bowers & Wilkins sound system, which is $3,400. Destination $995. Total $158,095. So what makes this car special? Well, basically Alpina takes a 8 Series and Alpinas it up, so to speak. It gives it power, it gives it luxury, it gives it an unbelievable interior, nice quiet ride, basically your fast Autobahn cruiser. So let's take a look at the engine. The engine's going to be familiar to you if you follow the 8 Series or even the M5. Now you do that latch twice, so there's no secondary latch underneath here. It is got a 4.4 liter twin turbo V8, 612 horsepower, 590 foot-pounds of torque, which is amazing. We'll really feel that power under our foot. You have the Alpina badges here. So essentially it says Alpina everywhere you'd see a BMW Roundel, except right here on the hood. Now, for 2023 on M cars, you can get for no charge that anniversary badging that we've seen before. And on the M Sports, like my M340, for the 22s or 23s, I think it goes by when they were built. And I think they actually have to be built by the end of 2022. Correct me if I'm wrong, but so it would be 23 cars, say it was a January, November build. On the M cars, it's free, the anniversary badging. On the M Sports, like my M340, so it's like a $200 option. Here, this is an Alpina, so it has the BMW badge, but obviously it's not a BMW M car, so it's not doing that 50-year anniversary. Always make sure it closes. You got a really nice light hood. Now this is a Gran Coupe, so if there's one downside for this car, this is my seating position, 6 feet tall, okay? One downside for this car, come on, unlock for me, is basically this headroom. So we got this swoopiness here. It's not a hatchback like we see on the 4 Series. It's a regular closed trunk, a decent sized trunk. But the downside is here is just going to be headroom. So you have, oh yes, I had to really bend my neck to get back here. I'm not going to close the door since I'm out here by myself and I want to get locked back here. So you have a dual pane sunroof, which is great. Obviously, sunroofs, you always lose about 2 inches of headroom here, right? And I'm sure this is electronic, moving this to closing it. So it is tight here. My head with this GoPro hat on is actually hitting the roof. So that, I would say, is really the only downside. If you have, you know, toddlers or shorter adults, teenagers now are like, I don't know, 5'5", 6 feet tall, but so it may be tough once you're getting my height to fit back here. If you're 5'5", you'll be fine. If you're 6 feet like me, you won't have the headroom. Now that's the only downside, because look how much legroom I have. I could probably be, you know, forget the headroom for a second, just legroom. I could probably be 6'5" and still sit back here, no problem. Whatever I want to do, I can't get my knees even close to that, and that is my driving position. Beautiful carbon fiber here. You have your own USB-Cs back here, your own climate control. So if you have passengers in the back, I always like my car cold, 65 degrees. Every car I ever start is usually at 75 degrees, and I'm like, why is it so hot in here? So you can have your own climate back here, and you also have heated seats back here. And again, you have speakers everywhere with the Bowers & Wilkinson sound system. I can't play it for you. I couldn't monetize this video, but it does sound fantastic. All right, so the second best thing to sitting in an Alpina is, of course, driving it. I could sit in this car all day. I wish I could have phone calls or emails to do. I probably do. I should check my phone. But it is so comfortable in here and so luxurious. So let's start it up. And it's got a good noise on startup. Wait to hear this. There you go. Very throaty, very meaty. It is muted because this is a luxury car first. Here we have that this is actually badged in Alpina. So you have a true Alpina B8. You have your USB right here. You got to be careful not to get water in there. So here you could put in your radar detector. That's what I would use. Obviously, you're probably going to drive this car fast. The green here means all the nannies are on. If you take lane control or one of those nannies away, this will be red saying there's something missing. You have your climate controls, your heated and cooled seats. And you can just press the button. So you press it once and you can do ventilation or heat, which I think is pretty cool. That's new. I don't have that in my car. All right, so now we have our mirror set up. We can have our navigation. We'll even show up on the screen here where we're driving. And we're gonna put it in drive. Now, we could drive it in sport too. We'll try both on the way back to the dealership. So with that 590 foot-pounds of torque, and it's available really down low, I think under 2,000, maybe around 1,800. And with that turbocharged motor, you just have so much power. I just love the 8 Series, whether it's the Alpina or even the M850. I think they're all fantastic cars. Obviously, you'd have to step up to an M8 to get this engine. All right, we can do a little bit of an acceleration here as we merge onto the road. Just the quality of the leather on in this car. You can just feel how fast this car would really be. So now I would drive this all day. If they let me take it home for the weekend, I would take it home for the weekend. I really like the Alpinas. I think as June 1st, my lease is up on my M340iX drive. Front runner for me would probably be a 2018 CPO M5. But I would seriously consider if I could find a used Alpina for that price. We drove one. We had the BMW press car. I think it was last fall, and it was a great color too, if I remember. It wasn't this frozen color, but it was such a joy to drive. And we drove it on some, tight mountain roads, and it, just like all BMW cars, it shrinks as you drive them fast. This is the sunniest day we'll ever get in this time of year in the winter in New Jersey. Usually it's gloomy, so the timing worked out perfect. I was at BMW of Tenafly today to service my car. I need, we'll go over that in another video. Some service was free and some maintenance I have to pay for, so we'll do that in another wear and tear, I should say, I have to pay for. I must have turned the heated seats on because I feel them now. Oh, they are on. Okay. All right. I just like the looks of the Alpina. That front grille looks amazing to me. You got the Alpina and the big letters. I like the Alpina wheels. That's always been like a signature design cue on them. Got a real smooth ride. So if you are driving the M8 or the M8 competition, different buyer, so the suspension is much stiffer, especially when you get into the sport modes. This car really has, I don't want to say a floaty ride, but a very soft and smooth ride. This you'll be comfortable for days. You can get out of this car and feel refreshed after a long highway drive. And it's a great car to sit in traffic too. If you commute, say you're commuting, I don't know if I would take this to New York City, but if you're sitting in a lot of traffic commuting, you're stuck in traffic, there's a lot worse places you can be. You got the beautiful leather. It smells amazing in here too. You got the stereo system. Definitely a car you want to spend a lot of time in. A lot of these cars I review, they're great cars, they're sports sedans. Most of the time, you know, to put it in sport mode or sport plus, you just get, the ride just gets too stiff. And it's great for this 15-minute video, but you probably wouldn't want to live with the car if you had that as your daily driver. Now, if we could switch it into sport, I could feel it drop a gear. Seems like everything gets a little louder. Throttle response gets a little more responsive. Now it's holding in the gear for me too. It's thinking I'm going to accelerate. Special thanks to BMW of Tenafly. I'm glad I brought my car in for service today, that's for sure. And look how many cars they have here now. Definitely get your next new or used BMW here. They gave me a great deal on my M340i xDrive, and I'm sure they will give you a great deal as well. Thanks again for watching, guys. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.